and thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. So today I shall be colouring the page that everybody has picked for me to colour on video this month from the Pop Manga Cute and Creepy colouring book by Camilla de Erico. So this is like my main focus book for this year. I will not get it completed this year, like that is far too much, but I do want to get I'm gonna try for like one page a month at least done, but they will not all be on camera. Yeah, there are some pages which I feel like if I did them on camera they would probably take me like 8 hours worth of video, and there is no way I'm making anybody sit through 8 hours or anything that long. No, just thinking about it, like I'm just like, no. So this first page that I will be colouring this year is this dragon page. Now, whenever I have seen this page, for some reason I always think of the Welsh flag, like the Welsh dragon. So I have printed out some reference images, all from Pinterest. So you have the Welsh flag, and then you have 2 dragons here that sort of depict the Welsh dragon. If you put Welsh dragon into Pinterest, these are pretty much near the top of the list. I had seen this one before somewhere, I cannot remember where, I do apologise, but this is sort of the colours I like for this dragon, like the red and then like the creamy under areas sort of thing, but mostly red. And yeah, I think that one's amazing. Like whoever has done these, I'm hoping they're real artists. By that I mean not AI, but I have been seeing these 2 for quite a while, which I think was before like that sort of AI took off, so I'm hoping that real artists are attached to those. Yeah, but obviously the Welsh flag is the Welsh flag, so you know. So in the background I plan to use green and white, but I'm not going to do the full straight line there. I'm just taking it as inspiration to do some green and white in the background, and I will be doing that with acrylic paint because I love using acrylic paint or anything really in the background. So I've picked out these 3 colours. White from the De La Rowney Graduate Acrylic, and then these 2 from the Pebeo Studio Acrylics. Now if you don't have these acrylic paints and you do want to colour it like this, like any acrylic paint will do, like whatever you can get your hands on, you know, it doesn't have to be the exact same ones. This is just what I have. So I just have put a bit of that in a small palette, probably too much of it as usual, but that's a good thing about acrylic paint. You can like take the tops off and put excess back into the tubes if you so wish to. Sometimes though I just pick a random other page and just use the excess paint on that, because I don't want to waste it. So I'm just going to get right into this. And I did not think this through, just a moment. Okay, now I've got the water and that set up in an appropriate place. Like before, I would have been having to go like this, and I was like, that isn't appropriate. So I'm just going to get a damp paintbrush and just start. I am going to start with my darkest green, because I find it easier going from dark to light sometimes, but then in certain situations I prefer light to dark. It's weird. Now this is if you look on your paint tubes, this green says transparent, but you'll notice once I start adding other colours, like this green is opaque, and I'm trying to find it on the white. I think the white is opaque as well. Yeah, I can't seem to find it on the white, but you'll notice because other paints are opaque that this will start going more opaque as well. Like, this can be done in more than one coat as well. It depends if I still want to be able to see the bubbles or not. For me personally, when it comes to things like this, I always see what one coat looks like first and then just decide as I go along. At the moment I'm thinking 2 coats, but if I do all of this and like it, then it doesn't matter, does it? But yeah, I just want sort of a greeny background, bit of white so you can see how it will go pale. So I don't actually want the paper white showing through, but I do want some lighter areas. See, adding that white, it just makes it look better, I think. What do you think? See, now that I've added the white, I'm thinking that I only need 1 coat, and because I quite like the bubbles, like I was going to add them back in after, but just like wherever. So I'm just going to sort of keep going at this. Like, my process is not I've never learned how to use paint. I just do whatever I want, really, because that's how I like it. I don't, you know, when you taught how to do something and you're just like, it's not as fun, and I'm doing this for fun, so I just do what I please. Obviously, if you have better techniques, use them. Use them by all means. I'm not the paint police. I still think there's no right or wrong way to do art. I do not like it when people say, oh, you're using the wrong brush or the wrong this or the wrong that, and I'm just like, why would you ruin people's fun? I'm not hanging this up in an art gallery. It's for my fun. I do like it when it's with the white. Makes it like a really nice green. I probably should have started at the top of the page. I didn't really do this in the right order now, did I? Normally I do start at the top, because now I'm going to struggle doing the top bits without putting my hand in anything. Not good. So now I've put my finger on the corner. But I do normally hold this corner down when I'm painting at the top. hopefully that'll get a bit dry. I'm going to mix a bit of this in a palette so it's like lighter green already. But look at that. Look at, oh, I do like pastel colours. And then once I see how my background is, I'll know which sort of red I want to use. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just splotching on the paint, having fun. Like, if I went in with an idea of doing it, I probably wouldn't achieve it anyway, because like I said, I've not been taught how to control paint. And I do realise that I haven't done this bit, just in case anybody is screaming at me. But I'm trying to get this larger bit like done, so I don't have like too much of an edge, like a line from where it dries and stuff. Oops, that went on the wing. So okay, you can go over acrylic paint, and that's only a thin layer. To do a bit of that one with the white as well. Oh, that is a lovely colour. Look at that. It's like a turquoisey sea green. I want a bit of that in places. See, I started off with just like a basic green and white, and now I'm discovering what I like as I go along, which I think's a good thing. So I will start to add bits of this in. Obviously I need to blend it out with like a bit of white and the green and stuff. Bit of white. I know what you're thinking, I'm just making it more difficult for myself, but I don't mind. I do want it still to be greeny though, if that makes sense. I need to fix the bottom as well because that doesn't match anymore. So technically this is like 2 coats now because I changed how I wanted to do it. That's okay. I still want to put those bubbles back in, but it might be a case of they won't be where they originally were because I won't know where they were because I'm covering them up now. I love it when you've got acrylic paint on a page, the texture of the paper. I love it. I like it. That is definitely better than before, wasn't it? Personally speaking, anyway. Right, so now I'm going to carry on from this top bit because I am, pretty much. Oh, let's put my paper. I do always recommend having a piece of paper behind and the washi tape down the middle of the page. It just makes it easier. You don't have to, when you get to the edges, you don't have to think, oh gosh, I've got to be careful now, or anything like that. So that's always a plus, in my opinion. Like, I haven't washed this paintbrush since I've started using it because I like to have the consistency of, you never know if a bit of that colour is going to end up in the next spot. It makes it sort of blend easier, I think. Obviously, if you feel like your paintbrush is going a bit dry, do add some water. But I would recommend getting quite a bit of that water off the brush before you go in again, because like this is obviously a colouring book, they don't always take water that well. Right, I'm just going to mix some of my paler colours back up again. There's quite a lot on there because I was mixing it. Quite a lot of paint on my brush. I'm just going to dab it in a few places. I will be a bit more careful around the dragon. Like if I was using watercolour, oh dear. If I was using watercolour, I would have used my masking fluid. But I don't normally use that with acrylic paint because I'm not sure it's meant to be. Like if acrylic paint got on top of that and you peeled it off, I'm not sure what would happen. So I've never really done that. Look at that colour. I love the paleness, but I also like the deepness. So just like getting a bit of it in, a bit of both in there, you know. A bit of that darker colour in there. So I'm basically just taking the inspiration colours from the Welsh dragon. And I'm not even using the same greens really, but like I just wanted you to know what's in my head when I'm doing this page, because sometimes it helps a person like understand why you're doing something, if that makes sense. Right, now I want a bit of a green. I do have to say I'm preferring this green, but I want a bit of both. I haven't done much colouring this month. I think it's sort of a winter thing because I do a bit of colouring and then like your hands get cold or it gets dark and the lighting changes and yeah, it just gets dark far too easily, which is weird because like normally I enjoy colouring at night, but in winter it seems different because it's been dark for so long already that you sort of, I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure some people know what I mean though, like yeah, it's just far too much darkness. Also, it's a kind of a different kind of darkness. A bit of that white back in there because I had to blend it out and then I lost some of the whiteness. Why is it? The more I do, the lighter it gets, but the more I like it, so I feel like I'm gonna have to go over other parts. But it could also be because it's drying. Because obviously acrylic paint, as it dries, it will get slightly darker normally. So, yes. Sort of have to see with where it goes. Got to go around the rest of this dragon bit now, which is always the most difficult part, to go around the actual illustration. Sorry, I am concentrating quite a bit. Oh, that was difficult. I've got to do the rest. It actually feels almost dry, so I'm going to gently touch it down there. Blend it out a bit. And it should look okay enough. Whew. I do like it. Don't like this bit up there. I will admit I put a bit too much white in, so I'm just gonna add a bit of this that's already on my brush, and then a bit of this. I just don't think I blended it out very nicely up there. So, just to make it look a little bit neater, just go over that bit again. Needs a bit more paint on it. This bit down here seems really dark now compared to, because I've lightened that bit up as well. And that bit in there, oh, got that, oh, it's a good thing I'm looking around the page, because wow, I've missed a few spaces. Let me just blend this in a bit more, because that is not good. Oh, that's better over that side. Now I need to do these little gaps. Oh dear. How could I have missed them? I almost very much did miss them. More of that in there, I think, because of what's next to it on the other side of the tail. Just put a bit of the paint in here. Just got too much on my brush. Oh, I could have switched to a smaller brush, but yeah, that's more to clean afterwards. Do you ever find that if like you're using paint or anything that you don't want to use too much different things because it's more to clean up? And yeah, who wants that? Alright, so I think that's my background painted, except I will add some of the bubbles back in. Some of them I can slightly see where they were, but most of them have disappeared. But I don't know if I will do those in white or I might do them gold. because I do like adding gold to pages. And since it's going to be a red dragon, I think gold would look nice. But we will see about that. So I'm going to take a break now, but it will only be a second for you. Okie dokie, it is obviously not the same day anymore. Yeah, so I'm just going to colour the dragon, and well, you've been watching this video so you know, but it has been like almost a week for me, so I'm still doing red dragon, and I do like the under parts, like the belly and the under parts of the wing, in this sort of creamy colour on this one. So I have picked out my Faber-Castell Polychromos colours, and I haven't sharpened them yet because that would be being prepared. So this one is dark red 225. It's my favourite red in the Polychromos set. I do have a backup ready to go for when that one runs out. Like, there are not many colours that I buy backups for, because I've had these pencils ages and it does take forever to use up a colour, except for my black and white, because I use them with all my other pencils that have run out of their black and white, so I do have to buy those more often. So yeah, so what was it? The dark red 225. I have deep red 223. I have beige red 132. Is this? Yeah, it used to be like light flesh or something, I think. And then I have light yellow ochre 183. I'm not going to be using that much, that's for the under parts. And then my black. And I don't know if I'll need my white yet because I have that beige red, but I will use it if I need it. I also have my white Posca. And I haven't decided yet on the colour of the eyes, but that can wait. So first of all, I'm going to go over with this deep red with a light layer over the whole of the dragon except for the under parts. I'm deciding, do I class the bottom of the feet as under parts? No, I'm going to just do those red. So I'm just going to go over it just to give me a light layer to start with. I don't think this is going to take too long. I could be wrong. I know what I'm like. I went to start filming a minute ago and I had to stop because I got the hiccups. Like, of all the times to get hiccups, why when you actually want to do something that involves talking? So I'm a little bit like, are they gonna come back? Because that quite often happens to me, where if I get them once within a day, then they'll come back again, but at the moment I'm fine. So I'll just see how that goes. So I'm going to leave sort of this area here as the under part. I'm going to add a bit of red over that side. Now that back here next to the neck is wing, but am I deciding? I think that would be under part. What do you think? That's outer part. I'm going to go under part for that because this is all showing as under. So this will be outer part. I say outer part, I mean, you know what I mean, I hope. That will be red. Am I going to do the spiny bits red? No. But the tail is red. So I hope everybody's doing okay. The weather here it doesn't know whether it wants to be winter or spring. Like one day you have snow, the next day you have 10-degree sunshine, then you have frost, then you have like tons of ice, and it's like, yeah, what you doing? Now for the head. The head is just red. I think the tongue needs to be red as well. I think it would, yeah, in the Welsh flag it is a red tongue as well. So yeah, it's not a very neat first layer. I'm just being free with it. I've got to add all my where I want my shadows and that anyway. I think the messiness, sketchiness of it will disappear. What about the horns? Would they be red too? I'm going to do them red, but I might make them more of a black red. Whereas these horns, like in all of the illustrations I've pulled off, the horns are still red as well. So yeah, I'm just going for a red dragon. And then I am going to add some gold into the background for those bubbles. But I can see some of them poking through, so I would definitely do those ones in gold, but then I might add some of my own. I just feel like I want those bubbles back, and green and gold look really nice together. I do love a green and gold combination. Now that I think about it, I think these need a little bit of red in them. It's not that many of them showing anyway. If it looks weird, that's fine. Right, so I'm gonna, oh, tongue, red tongue, forgot about that. I'm also going to add red into the inside of the mouth area, although that will be, again, more of a black red. And then for my base for the belly, I actually am going to use the light yellow ochre just as a base. So I'm going to use the beige red, but I thought I might accidentally think that it's red. And then it's just going to be working with adding my shadows and stuff. Like I said, this isn't going to be a complicated page. This is a fun one. Oh, what is that? I don't know, something was on my page. It's gone now. I am also going to do the inside of the ears this colour. And add a bit on the teeth. Again, still don't know what colour to do the eyes. Maybe like a turquoisey, bluey greeny colour. Maybe. Right, so I am going to... Do I go in black first? Or dark red? I think I'm going to go with my darker red first, just so I don't make a huge mistake. Again, still using lightly, but this is my dark red now, the red that I love. I've used it so much. I'm just following the shadows for now that Camilla D'Erico has already left for us on the page. Again, these darker parts will have black in them, so I just want to make sure I don't go from too dark to too light too fast. Get the blend a little bit there so I can follow it a bit easier once I've added the black. But I will be using the black, then this pencil again, and then my deep red again. Now if I was really wanting to make this difficult for myself, well, more interesting for myself, I could have used purple undertones for my red. They always look nice together, but I was like, no, I'm keeping this page simple, fun, and just a little cute dragon. His little eyebrows. I don't know if dragons actually have eyebrows. Just add in a few shadows of my own. Not much though. Alright, I'm going to focus on all the sort of skin areas first. I'll come back and do the horns after, as I feel like I'm doing everything all at once and there's no need for that, I don't think. Right. I feel like I'm shaking the table, which is probably shaking the camera, the light, the everything. I feel like this dragon is reminding me a little bit of Stitch. Like the same energy level as Stitch. Go around the feet. All those little toes. I keep wanting to draw something, but then I say, I don't know what I want to draw. I haven't drawn a person in ages. Like normally I go through phases of wanting to draw people, so I just pick like singers that I listen to or actors that I like to watch. But I haven't done it in ages. And then you start to think, can I still draw? Or has that disappeared? So I might have to draw something soon. But who or what? I don't know. Last time I did anything sort of arty for myself, it was just a bunny. But I want to draw a person. I like drawing people. I'm not super good or anything, but I enjoy it. Leave that at that for now, because I'll have a chance to blend that out more with my lighter colour. Yeah, so for the gold bubbles in the background, I'll be using like gold leaf flakes and my, oh, what do you call it that you used to stick it? Oh my gosh. It's right here in front of me. Why am I not looking? Gilding paste. I think some people might just use glue, but when I first bought my gilding flakes, like gold leaf flakes, that was what was recommended to use. It was recommended to use gilding paste for like, so it stays, whereas I think glue has more of a chance of it coming off. I don't know though, I've never used glue to stick it down. So I've got my black now, and first of all I'm just going to colour inside this mouth. I know I didn't use the dark red, but I am willing to risk using the black first in the mouth because it's going to be mostly dark anyway. I do love it when you... Oh, I just heard a spoon. It must have been from my cup of tea. But why did it move? Considering I'm not near the cup of tea. It's an empty cup of tea, but you know, it's just weird when something just randomly moves. Yeah, as I was saying, I like it when you start adding the contrast, the highlights and the shadows. It really brings the page together, especially when you complete the eyes. If you are colouring an animal or a person and you finish the eyes and you've added the blacks of the eyes and the white highlights or whatever colour highlights you're doing, and then you're like, okay, that's a person now, that's an animal now. Which is why I sometimes like to leave eyes till last. But that's also to do with the fact I never know what colour I want to do the eyes, so I just pick something that matches, that would look okay near the end. Right, let's do this tongue, shall we? Needs a bit more black in it because it's a tongue. This could be the most poisonous dragon you've ever known, but it looks cute because it's a baby, and then wham, you're dead. Who knows? All in your imagination. I don't want it to be bright red, which is why I added more black to the tongue, because little dragon guy is going to be more ready. And then I'm just going to take that beige red. Is it beige red? Yeah. And just for those lighter parts of the tongue, because I don't want to use white. I like it. I'm going to leave his teeth for now. Let me just take a sip of my drink. Nice refreshing Dr. Pepper. Right, now I'm going to start adding the black for the rest of the dragon. Do I start with the body or the head? I think I'm starting with the body. You know, when you're just like, yeah, Play it safe. Do the most difficult part last. Yep. I'm going to do the ear though. This outer bit of the ear, because I feel like I'm going to forget it. Why do things keep falling when I'm nowhere near them? Yeah, probably a ghost in this room. I'd have to see a ghost to believe in a ghost, but I'm not against the fact that they could be there. It's nice to think if they are there. I haven't had any bad experiences. Like my mum knew this lady, and she used to mention to my mum, "Oh, I've seen that dead girl at the end of my bed again," and I'm like, what? Apparently, like, she gets frequent ghost visits, and yeah, once my mum was on holiday and she was like, she saw somebody out on the balcony, and my mum was like, "There's nobody there." So yeah, creepy. But again, I haven't seen any ghosts that I know of, because who knows, maybe it was a ghost that just looked human. I'm really going off of topic, and if you don't like ghosts, I apologise. Oh, this is going to be cute. I needed some cute. I love Camilla de style. Like, when I think of like drawing a dragon, I can't do it. Like, my brain is too complicated to be able to actually pull off that artistic ability. But yeah, whenever I see a dragon, I could never imagine this style, you know? I think more of the sort of traditional dragons, like you see in these. But yeah, like, how do people find their style? Like, I don't even know where people start. Right, now the head. Oh, this is the scary bit. So again, I'm just going in sort of those areas where I've added the dark red, but not as far out. So this side was quite dark. And the eyes. See, I don't know what to do with this space. It's throwing me off. So I'm going to draw these eyebrows in black. And I need to do the outer eye bit. But the eyes will have black in as well, so I don't want to go too deep, because I want you to be able to see where the eye ends and the outer eye area is. That makes sense? So cute. I'm going to eat all the bubbles. He's not poisonous, he's not deadly, he's just hungry. Hungry for some bubbles. but who's to say that the bubbles won't end up adding the poisonous ability into his bloodstream, and then bam, again, death. Little bit lighter going out, so I feel like that's going to go into the red too quick, which is what I was scared of happening before. It's like this nose area, I don't know what to do with it. Right, I'm gonna go in with my next colour, I think, as I'm just gonna be shading forever, except for here I missed this bit. I missed it. Right, so back to my dark red. I'm just going to sharpen it again. So basically I'm going over the black and bringing it out, basically, so it looks darker but not as black. You're basically just building your colour up, really. And just bring that out a bit. Just look a bit creepy at the moment when I look at his face. And just remember this, if there's a part where you mess up and you like go in the background or anything like that, I'm just going to add a bubble on it. Like, there are parts of this painting part in the background where I'm like, this is a little bit too much of a harsh transition, or that bit's a bit patchy. I'm adding a bubble. Like, there's nothing wrong with it if I'm adding a bubble. Right, onto his body. Oh, I do love this red. How many times have I said that already? But it's true. I really hope the reds will show up correctly on the camera, because it is quite a difficult colour for some pages for it to bring it up. Right, I'm hoping it'll be okay. Like, sometimes I get the wrong tone of red and you're just like, why? It looks so nice, but you're showing people pink instead of red. Like, it'll pick out the pink in the red or the orange in the red, and then you're just like, that's not what it looks like. Please cooperate. But then if you're editing your video and you try to change it to look like you want it to, then it changes a different colour as well, and then you're just like, well, that's not right, so you just have to leave it how it was. And then I'm just like, why? Yeah, I'm not I'm not an editor, I'm not an expert at editing anything. That's why I normally just leave my videos as they are. I normally crop them to like fit better so you can see it better, like, yeah, and that's about it. Oh, and if the lighting is bad, I'll change that, but other than that, I prefer to just leave it as it is, because then you're just seeing what it is for what it is, to the best of my ability. And this is for fun, so I don't want to stress about getting everything perfect. This ear, bit of the wing. I didn't put any black on it, but that's fine. I didn't do this bit either. How random of me. Add a bit more red into these bits. I wasn't going to, but now I'm on to it. I'm like, why not? Now the scary part. The face. It's just this big open bit that I'm just like, help. I don't want to go in too hard with the pressure, but at the same time I'm like, I want to get this done. But it is the largest area is the head, so it's got to be done. I thought this was going to be quick, but it's still going to take quite a long time. I might have to come back one more time on a different day. I don't want to. It'll be Sunday by then if I do that. And I was hoping to post this tomorrow, but I don't think that's going to happen. By tomorrow, it would be Friday tomorrow. It would be Friday the... What is the date? Like, that's gone from my mind. I've wrote the date down and everything today, but it's not coming to me now. Well, Friday. It can just be Friday. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. When I'm filming this, at least. Right, let's do around this eye a minute. If you're thinking this red is really dark, it is for now. It will look lighter or brighter, if you say, once I've added the other red. Might not be a huge difference, but it won't look so dark all over. But I do love this dark red. Like, It's almost my nail colour. I do find that when I have my nails painted certain colours, I end up using those colours in colouring pages, which is, it's like I must be like, what colour should I do? And then I must see my nails. Because when I was doing the green background, my nails were green. And now I'm doing the red dragon, and this colour is called wine red, or wine. So yeah, I don't drink wine, but I'll put the colour on my nails. Oh, something in my eye. Sorry. There we go. I need to transition this out a bit before I add the other red, else it'll just look like you've hit a brick wall. Suddenly one colour ends and suddenly another begins, and I don't want that. Don't know about this area. I don't like the nose. I've never really done a dragon nose like this, because normally dragon noses, you know what I mean, I'm not used to drawing the cute style for a dragon, and it's at a different angle. Everything is factoring in for me, thinking, what am I doing? How do I do this? Oh, okay, that looks better now that I've added a bit of shadow there. But then there's this nose, and I don't understand it. I'm okay with Camilla de Erico's human noses most of the time, but this one, I think I've gone weird. Oh well, it'll do. It'll work out, hopefully. I'm just going to add a bit more on this arm for shading, because I do think it's far too light for the rest of the dragon, like comparing it. Just a little bit of shading. That'll do. So next will be deep red. So basically the colour that I used as a base to start with is now the final colour, and you'll see it more red. Although I'm going to leave some little highlights because I quite like it. So I might have to get my white just to make those highlights a little bit more blended. Yeah, see how it looks more red now? Well, you might not be able to tell, it depends if my camera is picking it up. But yeah, it will, the colour will look more bright. See, I can definitely tell with that ear. So just leaving a couple of little highlights here and there. I'd rather leave them now than have to add them back in with a Posca pen and have harsh white dots and lines. I mean, normally I will go in with the Posca pen and then go on the pencils on top of the Posca pen, but if I can just leave a few here now, that will save the trouble, won't it? You like it? I'm gonna like this. I am pressing a little bit too hard with this pencil, if I'm honest, but I'm okay with that. You know, when you just want to get it done so you can see what it looks like, and then you end up rushing a little bit. Like, I just need to know what the red looks like so I can then think about the rest of the dragon. Don't know whether to leave a highlight there yet or not, so I'm going to leave it there a minute, and then if I don't like it, I'll get rid of it. So cute. I can't help it. For the like claws or nails, however you want to call them, I think I will get my white Posca on them to make them stand out again, because I think I do want them to be white and not red. I wasn't sure to start with, which was why I just ended up colouring them. Just need to go over this again because I can still see quite a lot of sort of sketchy coloured marks, if that makes sense. And I know when I add the white pencil for these highlight bits, it's going to maybe dull down the colour a bit. So I think it's fine adding a bit more. Oh, I do like the highlights on his arms. I'm going to leave that one there. I didn't do his foot. What's wrong with me? I did the rest of over here, didn't I? Now for this bit down here, you may think, well, why do you need to go over that? I can personally see marks that need to be blended out, is all that is. I think I need to sharpen this pencil again. See how much I mean by saying this red will brighten the dragon up? Like down here compared to up here, pretty much shows you how adding another pencil can change the colours completely. trying to decide where I want little lights, little light sources, should I say. His hand. If I don't like them, I can always get rid of them later, but for now I think I will leave them like that. Now it's the head again, the scariest part of all, especially when you're doing like final coloured layers. And it's like, I'm thinking now, where am I adding the highlights? Obviously in the lighter areas I already have, but I've got to think about these things. I might add this red into the tongue as well, actually. It looks like, now that I've got this red, I feel like I want that red in the tongue as well. Right, so I'm just going over what's already there, because it gives a smoother layer. I know for a fact I'm not putting any highlight there, so it's more in this cheek area that it's going to be. Pressing lighter as I decide, because this is a scary part. I think I want one like there. One like there. Sort of like that maybe. I'm going to colour the rest of it and then I'll come back to that area to see if I'll add more of the red to it, like neater, more bolder. At the moment I need to carry on deciding the rest of it. So I feel like there needs to be one in this eyebrow area. I feel like that now needs to curve with the eyebrow, like it loops over and round, sort of. Yeah, I know what I mean, but that probably sounded like, what in the world is she talking about? I promise you, my brain makes sense to me. It's just the other people in the world that it doesn't. He is really looking cute. As long as I get this red part right, I think I'm going to be happy with however this turns out. It's this nose bit again. It is gonna send me crazy. I should have looked up how other people have coloured this page. I think this one's been coloured quite a bit, but you know me, I like to stay away from seeing other people's if I can, because else it influences me sometimes without me realising it. It's gonna need some highlights in its head over here as well, right? Might need to add a bit of black back into the nose area once I decide finally, but at the moment I'll just do that red a minute. Sorry if I go quiet, I am really concentrating on where I'm placing my colour. Like, I'm trying to make it so it sort of curves over again, like I did the curve here. But I'm not making it follow the eyebrow, I'm sort of following the shape of the head. I think I'm happy with that. Now I need to just come back over here and like make it more like over here. I am sorry for my explanation skills. So it neatens it up a bit. That's sort of what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Right, now I'm gonna neaten up here because I was pressing lightly, wasn't I? I want to get the red levels of down here. Without destroying what I've already done, pretty much. Go over this black bit here again. I'm going to go over the eyebrow because I feel like I didn't make that very smooth at all. I don't need perfection, I just, that was a bit too much. And then this nose, it's bugging me. I think I have too many highlighted spots here. But I kind of like it at the same time. It's difficult. Like if I get rid of the wrong one, it's just gonna look weird. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think that was the best option. Make this up here a little bit smaller as well. I like it. What do you think? And I wanted to add this red into the tongue just for a bit of life. It's not going to be as bright as the dragon because I've got too much black in it, but it'll be a little bit better. Neaten up the back of the mouth as well. So I was a little bit scared of getting the black on the actual dragon. Oh, I like that. And I think it will definitely look better once those eyes are done. So what time are we on? What time is it? Right, I'm going to leave it here for now because I've other things I need to do. That took longer than expected, I will say. Much longer than I first anticipated. But I'm glad I took my time on it because I like that. It's coming along cutely. So I'll be back on Sunday, but it'll be a second for you. So have a nice second of your own time. Okay, so I'm back again and new day. And I realised I didn't blend with the white at the end. So I'm quickly going to do that now. Just blend it. I don't know, I just looked at the time before and then, yeah, I completely forgot I was going to blend this. I think I will put the Posca on the claw parts. And I have decided to do a green colour eye, but it might be slightly blue-green. I haven't decided yet. Probably something similar to the background, so I do like doing that. Right, so I'm going to do these horns next. So I'm going to base it with the black. Yes, I know, basing with the black. What am I doing? Well, I'm only doing I had too sharp a point on that. I'm only doing a black-red tint horn. Those words didn't sound like they're in the right order then. Yeah, a tinted red but black horn for these two little ones. So I could just go in with the black and then put a bit of red in. Done. Keep it simple. This has already taken much longer than I had anticipated, and I have sharpened these too much. So this is the dark red. So they're more likely going to look black-ish. you can definitely tell that it's red. That's literally those horns done. It didn't take long at all. Now these ones I'm going to do like the dragon, I think, but I'm going to start with the red. So I'm just following the shadowy, sketchy lines that have already been put in there. I was looking for my circle template earlier for doing like the bubbles in the background, adding my own as well, and I thought, oh, I'll try to keep it neat. I'll use my like circle stencil, and yeah, I can't find it. Can't find it anywhere. The two places where I would have normally sort of left it, not there. So now I'm like, it doesn't just up and walk away, it's a stencil, so where's it gone? So yeah, I need to look for that at some point, but I'm just gonna have to draw my bubbles in myself, which is not difficult, but you know, when you sort of want to keep it neat, the stencil helps with that, giving off like more perfect circle shapes than what I can do freehand. But never mind, it's not like they're the main focus, and quite honestly I've got to add my gilding paste to the circles to add the gold on top anyway, so that's probably going to mess up the perfectly drawn circles anyway, because I'm not as good with a paintbrush like for fine detailing, not at all. And this one over here, hopefully I can get this finished today. I think I will. I don't think I've done like the main bulk of the time consuming parts, I think. Alright, so I'll get my black now for the deeper shadowed parts. But I do want to keep these horns red and not black like the ones I just did. Right, now back in with the dark red again, over the black, and then we'll just go in with that, what is it? What was the other red called again? Deep red. Deep red, dark red. I sometimes get confused which one's which. I think I'll keep these a bit lighter, like have the light part on it. It's like here, but in the centres of the horns. I think I'll do that. So the deep red, try not to break the point on this one. I do think I press down hard sometimes. Don't like colouring at that angle. Maybe because I'm trying to keep my lines in the direction that the horn is going. I have to colour in a way I do not normally then. And then I'll just take my white onto it and blend it into the centres. That one went really weird. Now the white. Just gets rid of the harsh lines really. Still a bit. I'll just take my ready minute and neaten that edge up. That one. So those are those horns done. Now I just have the yellow bits and then the eyes and teeth. So I'm going to take my light yellow ochre, number 183, and gently add it onto the shaded parts that are already there. I don't think it will look this yellow once I've added my other colours, but at the moment it will, obviously. So just gotta do it in all the areas. Like you can see the sketchy lines that are already there. You may need to get a slightly brown colour for those deep shadow parts. We will have to see. Going inside the ears because I am doing those the same colour. And can't forget this side, like I sometimes would. I don't know why we do that though, don't we? I'm not the only one. Like, you do one side and then you forget the other side exists. So, yeah, I'm just going to find a light brown sort of colour. This colour is Vista 179. Just sharpen it a moment because I don't want to use black with the yellow, so these darker parts. Oh yeah, that goes nicely with the yellow. Good choice for once. I tried to pick a lighter yellowy brown, so if it's a yellowy brown then it's more likely to blend with the yellow. Then on these wing bits over here, just where the darker lines are. I think it will help in the long run. Now just this ear. I may put a bit of black in the ear, but not the rest of it, not the wings. And now I want to bring in this colour, the beige red 132. Because it is a red dragon, when I look at this here, it's still got the red a bit into the creamier colours, so I thought this would be a good blending out colour, because then I can still have the yellow, but I've still got a pinky colour to help it go with the red of the dragon itself. So I thought that would be a good choice, and it seems like it's going well. It's over on these wings that I'm a bit concerned, because obviously you've got all of the sketchy marks, but I don't mind if you can see some of those through. I wasn't going to do dark wings just to get rid of those lines. Do you like it though? It's turned out better than expected, but I definitely think the brown was a good choice and not just the yellow. And then in the ear here, I am pressing quite hard with this colour, I admit. Get the white for a couple of these bits over here. I didn't want to do it all with the beige red. Paint on that wing. Oh well. Right, now the mouth. I'm just going to take a teeny tiny bit of this yellow colour, all the shadows. Very lightly I'm pressing. I don't want too much yellow in there. And then I'm just going to use the white, and then I'll get the black on. There's a couple of parts of the edges that I could do with neatening up, especially that bit there. I saw it ever since I was colouring the dragon, and I thought I'll wait till I do the mouth. That's the teeth done. And now the eyeballs. So for the eyes, I have two colours here. I have deep cobalt green, number 158, and phthalo green, number, gosh, that's very reflective, 161. So I'm going to base it with the phthalo green. Oh, I expected that, but that still made me jump a bit. Obviously the centre of the eye is going to be black, but I like having a base of the colour of the eye because I find it helps sometimes with the black not looking too much like it doesn't fit. So now for the deep cobalt green. I always find it's, oh my gosh, why did I sharpen these so much? It makes more sense having shadows at the top of the eye, so the darker colours at the top of your eye, and then at the bottom it's the blends out to the lighter colour for these sorts of illustrations anyway. Now I think it will look better once you add the black, because that centre needs to be deeper. Now this eye over here, you're not going to be able to see much anyway. So I've got the black, and then at the centres of the eyes, like here. You can leave a bit of that green in there if you want. And then I like to go on the very top edge. I don't know, it just feels like it deepens it and makes it pop a bit more. And sometimes I do a little bit on the bottom. But it's completely up to you. Everybody has their ways of doing eyes, don't they? So now I'll get that phthalo green back again and just blend them a bit. I will be getting the Posca on these white dots, as always. I like my white Posca dots in eyes. Just adds a bit of life, I think. Right, so the white Posca. Pump it up a bit. I think this one's starting to run out. I have used it loads lately. I'm working on one of my whips from last winter, and the amount of white Posca I had to use on it is quite honestly ridiculous, but necessary in my opinion. And this pen has suffered a lot. I think that's enough for the eyes. I like them. So now the only thing left to do, oh no, I'm forgetting something. I wanted to add a shadow where he's sitting. So I'm actually going to take that deep cobalt green a moment, and underneath him I'm going to add a slight shadow. If I don't like it, I don't like it. It's fine. But I thought it just looks like it's plonked in the middle of the page. And yeah. I just thought I'd add a little something. Just like that. Add a little bit of black on the inner parts. The bits that are closer. Now there is a bit of texture because I am colouring on top of the acrylic paint, but that's fine. And then I think I'll just see if the white will just blend it a bit, but I'll have to get the green on it again, I think. I just want to get rid of a little bit of the texture in the black. And I'll just go on with the green, like I just said. Look how cute he is though. It's cute. So I've got the green back again. I'm just gonna go over it. Might get that other green on the edges bits, just to blend it out a bit. I think there was like a slight shadow underneath him before I painted, wasn't there? Or am I imagining things? I don't remember now. It's been too many days since I've painted the background. Oh yeah, that helps it blend out nicely. Look at that. Yep, good choice. It's because it's a similar colour to what I have in the background there. Doesn't matter if it doesn't match this side very well. It's fine. I'm still got to add my gold bubbles anyway. So anywhere that looks a bit odd just gets a gold bubble near it. That's the way I roll. But yeah, I like that. How's it looking on the camera? Ooh, nice. So now, I'm not going to film this because it will take a while, but I'm going to take my masking tape, oh my gosh, and my gilding paste and do the circles in the background. Just putting them wherever I want. I can see a few still coming through the paint, so those ones will definitely get done, but then I'll see what it is and how it is, because when you use this you have to wait for like half an hour for it to go like a tacky sticky before you can then put the gold on top. So yes, I shall be back in a bit. Before I add the gilding paste, I just wanted to show you how I've drawn my bubbles in. I just took the green pencil and drew where I wanted my bubbles. So just, this might be easier to see than afterwards. So at the moment anyway. Back again, sorry. Duh. My brain. So you can see at this point I have just finished going around my circles with my brush, and you can see that some of them are very white still, some of them have started to turn clear, which is what it does when it goes to its sort of sticky tacky state. I will now wait half an hour to make sure it's all definitely where it needs to be. Some of them I kept as circular bubbles and some of them I dotted in, like I filled the whole circle in. Mainly because a couple of them I had a mistake and the gilding paste just joined up, so I thought, well, there's no harm in having some that are filled in, so I just went with it. So yeah, hopefully this will look nice, and then when it goes tacky I will just sprinkle this on and then you sort of dust it off and it will stay behind where you've added the gilding paste basically. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so here's done. Bubbles are done, and may I just say I have never made such a mess with that gold leaf in my life. So basically I had it on the page and I sprinkled it on and I was brushing away the excess, and then for some reason I let out a and it blew everywhere, because this stuff is basically like as light as a feather. So normally I'm very careful about like my breathing, but why did I let out that big sort of sigh? I had to get the hoover out, like half of it ended up on the floor and I was like, I'm not picking up every little piece. most of it was still on the table, so that I was able to collect, but whatever. Oh yeah, it was a mess. But anyway, look at the shiny goldness, and then little dragon. I'm really happy with that, how it's turned out. Like, yeah, so cute. Well, it was cute to start with, so it was always going to be cute. But yeah, I'm happy that I went with sort of the Welsh dragon colours. Yeah, the gold bubbles really do give that little bit back to the background, doesn't it? So definitely happy with that. So I hope you have enjoyed watching. I have enjoyed colouring. Yes, and we'll see what will be the next page that I film for you guys next month. I should hopefully be doing one a month. If I'm not filming it, I'm at least colouring in it. But I want to try and film them. But yeah, really happy with that. So happy colouring, and until the next time, take care. Bye.